right, good Tuesday morning to you on a snowy Ohio, apparently a snowy Ohio morning. We got no snow here in the Northeast just yet. Strap in. I just have a question for you, Tony. Number one, how was your Thanksgiving? We were just talking about that for a second.
It was phenomenal. We had a great time. We did the turkey trot. We did all the normal family traditions. Can't ask for a better day.
Those aren't normal. Those are Norman Rockwell. I think those are less normal today. Those should be more normal. So explain your Thanksgiving, because you gave me the rundown.
Yeah, so we can bring Dave in. Typically, now this has been going on 10 years or so, like we wake up, multiple families, we're all connected. My wife comes from a big family, so her siblings, their respective families, we go to a turkey trot somewhere. But usually what happens, we dump a turkey into the oven, throw some sweet potatoes, some regular potatoes. We leave, run the turkey trot, get pictures, come back home, pull all the cooked food out, have a little family breakfast, just the nuclear family. And then we go over to grandma's house or a brother-in-law's house. 50, 60 people get together, all of us family. And we just have an amazing day. I've never been part of a family like this. I married into this family, but it's like from the 60-plus-year-olds down to the 6-month-olds. Everybody's involved, playing wiffle ball, playing football, like backyard stuff. Usually it ends with a big poker tournament. All the kids can play poker. The adults can play poker, and we just have a great night.
This is not standard in a good way. Like you just described, like 9 different holidays jammed into one day. It sounds like, if you're a kid, you don't even know where to look. You know what I mean?
It is the most amazing growing up experience for these kids. Like just within a 3-mile radius where I live, there's 3 families, all the boys, mostly boys, couple girls. They're all cousins. They camped out. It was 22 degrees. Awesome. They camped out in the backyard that night because obviously the college kids were home. They wanted to hang out with the younger cousins. It's just crazy. It seems fake, but it's been going on for like 20 years. Yeah. So I don't know when it's going to all fall apart, but it is amazing.
Dave didn't camp out because where were you? Were you in the city or were you somewhere like
south? For Thanksgiving? No, we were in South Jersey. I wanted to quickly ask, because I feel like Jimmy's leaning in as well. I think Jimmy, because I know him well, I think we both feel the same way, which is, so Tony, are Jimmy and I more likely to get the invite to the lake family trip, the lake experience that you had in the summer first before this Thanksgiving? Because it sounds like this Thanksgiving is a big family gathering. You said 50, 60 people. Are there some friends mixed in there? Are there some, no. Okay. So Jimmy and I have to start with the lake experience, potentially, maybe hijack that, and then we can work our way into a future Maritato Thanksgiving.
Yes. That's, just real quick. So my wife is one of 14 kids, no twins, wild. Same mom and dad. So, there's no need for outsiders to come in. But yes, you and Jimmy, you start here. You start small, you meet my family, my kids, we go out, we have a good time. And if you make the cut, then we'll bring you in. And they're all phenomenal athletes. That's the thing. Like, I am the slowest person. I ran an average pace of 8:45 for a simple 5K. These guys were all done in 6.5 minutes. The slowest one other than me was like 7-minute mile pace.
Wow.
Which is still good. Which is still good for a 5K.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's crazy. What do we got, Jimmy?
You're modeling behavior.
Yeah.
Like that's what you're doing. You're saying like, hey, don't go run. You're like, hey, try to keep, like, you can't keep a kid off of you. I don't have any kids, but I know how kids work generally. If you're doing something and you don't want them to do it, tell them you can't do it, right? Like, you got to stay out of here. I'm using a power saw. And you're like, I don't know what the power saw. But if you're getting here, it's time to learn how to do whatever. Kids are like, yeah, I'm out. It's reverse psychology as people scream at the screen. All right, so here was the prompt we talked about last week. We've talked about this before. I think Dave was con and Tony was pro. And I was sort of like, yeah, that makes sense. And now I think it's becoming more and more of a reality because I don't think we talked about this for a while, which is, is this clinic I'm about to describe possible in the near future, which is patients don't pay a copay, patients don't pay a membership fee, But a clinic is able to understand that they're in an attention economy and run a clinic just based on the revenue that you can create from the attention that the clinic actually demands. And then I remember we always look for, the first time we talked about this, like, well, is there a model like this that exists outside of healthcare? And then I forget who said it, but it was Judge Judy and all those courtroom shows. Like, if you don't know how those work, if I'm suing Tony and Dave's the judge, before we go in, we just sign like, this is binding, whatever they say goes, but we're paid a fee. So if I sue Tony for $10,000 and Dave's the judge and says, guilty, Jimmy owes the money, they just pay it because they know they can sell more commercials during that episode that'll pay for all those fees. So they're like, we need more cases. That's our problem. We need more content. So that model, I mean, Judge Wapner, Judge Judy, they've been around for a gajillion years, and now there's 32 of them. There's all the, if you stayed home during the day, that's all those things. So I was like, I don't know, is this possible? Like, it's cute on TV, but is this possible? And I said, you know, what would happen if, what would Mr. Beast and his team do in the first 30, 60, 90? Well, they would make challenges, right? I want to see people do things. There needs to be an element of failure. I have to see what happens next. Like, that's the thing. I know, like, that's the element of any good story. When you're telling a story about Thanksgiving, you're like, and then what happens? And like, then the poker game. And then we start doing shot skis or whatever people do in Ohio, right? Like, but that's how you tell a good story. So free evals, free plans of care, patients walk out 10 times better, but everything's got to, you have to sign the rights away and be like, all right, I really want this, but we're also gonna make you a star, kid. I think it would be, I'll pay this patient $1,000 if they can do the perfect squat. And then they bring someone in like Doug Adams or something with his tech, and they can measure is there anybody that can do a perfect squat where they go straight? I don't know. But the answer is, can you get enough views to make that pay more than you would have earned on the copay to cover overhead? So ad revenue sponsorships presented by, TheraBand or whatever you want to do, affiliate links, merch, creator collaborations. There's a lot of PTs now. 10,000 followers on Instagram used to be a big deal. Now we're talking in millions. Like, these are millions, right? Corporate challenges. Why doesn't, like, think about this. How many employees does an organization like ATI or Athletico? I'm not picking on either of them, but they've got thousands of employees. I can look that number up. How many followers do they have? My bet is less than employees, or close. Like, the proportion isn't there. You can't even get your own employees to follow. Why? Because you're not leading. Mr. Beast would lead. He'd do brand integrations. He would be on the phone with Hyperice, and everybody would be walking out with a Theragun. It would be your parting gift, right? Every time. So I think that we're not there yet. But is anything that I said like out of the realm of recent, like near future possibilities so far?
Dave?
Well, I wanted to ask, do you guys think that Mr. Beast's videos is that a form of reality TV? Like, we have reality TV like Survivor and
Yes.
all, like the Kardashians. So you guys agree it's a form of reality TV?
Yes.
I think this would be a fascinating experiment if a physical therapy practice did this. In my opinion, when you watch, I don't watch any of this stuff, but like The Bachelor and all this like ridiculous crap,
It's okay.
we know that there are certain people, especially in the US, certain people that's how they actually are. But then a lot of these networks and the producers, and they find people on these reality shows or for these reality shows, and they kind of ham it up, and they lean into like the negative, controversial stuff, whatever the behavior is, right? So my thoughts on this would be, if you did this for a physical therapy practice, if the whole intention was, we want to get eyeballs, attention, brands, sponsorships, partnerships, whatever, you move away from, I believe, Tony will probably push back, you move away from the individual patient and clients results that they care about. Now, of course, if it was Tony's clinic, some people with these total knee replacement, post-surgical rehabs, they're still going to get a little bit better. They're going to get a little bit more range of motion. But like, let's just say plug and play. Tomorrow, this reality show is in Tony's clinic all of a sudden. And now all of a sudden it's like no insurance. They're not taking insurance. They're not collecting co-pays. People are just coming in and out. I believe that it would be less focused on results, and then therefore you would have people that are like, they're coming, and maybe that's part of the mental therapy and they're socializing and all that, maybe. But I think you'd be moving away from actual things that are a little more directly valuable that you can charge for, and that's like a fork in the road. And I want to go results based because I can charge more for that.
Okay.
And you want to go the other way.
Let me change the angle slightly. What's the guy's name? I always forget his name. The guy who runs the Savannah Bananas.
Jesse Cole.
What if it was run by Jesse? Like, they're similar in mindset, but Jesse does not care about players. I mean, he does, but he cares about the fans. So
right,
like,
but they also still charge ticket price, and they also charge for merch. So
1000%, brilliant. They understand who the audience is. My point in saying that is, if you said what if your angle wasn't attention first? Because I also don't think Mr. B starts out with attention first. I think he starts out with, can I make an amazing thing for these people to stop them in their tracks to come? And we've talked about this.
Well, I think that is attention first, the way Mr. Beast thinks.
Yeah. All right. So yes. But what I'm saying is, like, so what if you took Dave's angle, which is like, it has to be great for the patient, but also like, if I walked into 100 PT clinics tomorrow, am I seeing Banana Ball or Mr. Beast? I did a live stream yesterday, and Rebecca Griffith, the ED-DPT, was like, I had my kid in the lobby at a children's hospital, and you know what I saw? Lego art and big buttons for kid to press on and balloon. And then you go into a urology office now, and what do you see?
White walls.
White, yeah, beige, everything. The question is, what if you just approached everything like Banana Ball, and you were like, every patient, we're going to make it fun and exciting. So maybe I'm just like, so I see what you're saying. So there's, first of all, good or bad, clickbait is bad unless it's clickbait to get tested for prostate cancer, right? Like, if you use the same elements for good, it's neither good nor a sword is bad unless you're trying to defend yourself from a dragon. I don't know why I went full sci-fi on that, but I did. So yes, but my thing is, everybody would have said Jesse from Savannah Bananas was insane, and he was, until you're not. And then everybody cheers for you and buys your t-shirt. I don't know. By the way, we have a new sponsor. I got to read the sponsor ad. Today's show brought to you by the TheraBlast 9000, the only massage gun with 3 speeds: gentle, aggressive, and did I just black out? Use promo code breakfast for 10% off and a free ice pack. Like,
what is it? What is this?
Dave missed last week, so we got to know what you're doing.
We're now doing fake commercials until someone laughs enough and shares the fake commercials that gets to someone who goes, I'd pay for that. I'll pay for an ad. How much do I have to give? I'll say this. How about this? Is a twist. Oh, look at this. A twist. I just heard on the news as I was walking in. Today's Giving Tuesday. I'll read your live read on our live stream. I want no money. I want you to donate to a charity. It's got to be a charity. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we could just sell charity donations because people listen to this, and we are this in the world. Like, Tony, you just shared a Facebook page with me, and I assume you want me to bring it on the screen.
Yeah, like, this is a great example. If you pull it up, I think I've shared it on my Facebook page. If people don't know, what is it? Jeremiah Daniel Johnson. Yeah.
Yes.
He is hilarious. When you first see it, Dave, like,
what's he doing?
Have you seen, go to another video. You got to see the first, like, the hook of each video. Go to a different video. Look at the picture and then look at him.
Oh my God.
Go to another
how to work out nuts.
Go to another one. Go to another.
How to work out Battleship Koopa.
So, like, you would think he's being so offensive, abrasive, like everybody would hate him. He shows these horrible body images and then dresses like the body image, but people love him. He's got 2.5 million followers. And he's a personal trainer, and he shows these simple exercises, and, you know, his whole thing is how you can exercise at any level. It blows my mind. So going back to some of what we were talking about, like this guy knows how to grab attention. This guy knows how to monetize the attention. Most of those videos are just simple ads for him to get personal training clients. But at 2.5 million followers, I don't know the volume, but let me just tell you real quick.
That's the thing.
I just hit 40,000 followers on Facebook. I made $1,000 last month. Do the math, whatever that math is, to take me to 2.5 million from 40,000. It's not going to be a perfect multiple, but yes, he is making more than enough money just from Facebook, not counting all the other media, not counting all the other endorsements and all the other stuff that he's probably got. And at first glance, and I shared it because I was curious what the PTs would say. 2 women, at least, that I saw, both of them were like, I love this guy. At first I was offended and then I fell in love with him, because you realize he's genuinely trying to do things to help.
62K. If the math stayed true, if your 40,000 followers got you 1,000, 2.5 million would get you 60K a month. So like in theory, so I know this doesn't make any sense when you first look at it, but it's also like, how do you earn $1 million a year? It's like, that's a lot of money. It's like, it is a lot of money. But if you broke it down by quarters or months, you're like, oh, well, now these things,
a month.
How do you eat the elephant, right? So it's like, well, how long did it take him to get there? But people are getting to 2.5 million followers faster and faster. Why? Because they're coming for every minute of every second of your day in terms of attention. And so we are in an attention economy. I have the videos, and I think I shared them with you. Dick's Sporting Goods is opening up a content studio. That doesn't make any sense. Dick's Sporting Goods used to buy commercials on ESPN in a 30 for 30 or in SportsCenter. They will continue to do that, but they understand that the maths. I don't know how much starting a movie studio costs, millions of dollars, but they're saying whatever that millions of dollars is, it's a drop in the bucket because now we control the whole vertical. We can make a documentary about the Little League team from middle of nowhere, Montana, that Dick's gave all the equipment to, follow them just like they do in that NFL. What's the NFL thing that they do?
Combine?
No, they follow a team like from preseason every year.
Oh, Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks. So they'll essentially, it's a documentary every year. They picked the Jets one year. I was like, did you think the Jets were going to go? But whatever. I mean, good decision, I guess. You got to bet on a long shot. But Chick-fil-A is opening a content studio because I imagine Chick-fil-A buying ads on the Hallmark channel because they're like, this goes with our values, and they will. But now you are beholden to whatever ad space is available, whatever Hallmark channel says it's worth, and the price can go up and down, or you just build your own studio. Again, I just looked it up. How many? I gotta see. How many employees do you think ATI?
I'm gonna say 17,000.
I don't know. I'm ChatGPTing that right now, but I'm saying like, okay, more than 5,000 clinicians and support staff, between 5,000 and 7,000. They have 7,000 followers on Instagram. You're telling me those PTs, those 5,000 clinicians, don't touch 100 lives a week? But they're not telling the patient stories. They're not telling the clinician stories. So your story doesn't spread.
So I'm going that way, obviously. Like my time is more media than patient care. Dave is not. So I would ask Dave, because I don't think he disagrees. I don't think Dave says, no, it's a terrible idea. Don't start a media company. Don't do those things. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to watch your videos. But I think Dave sees a bigger opportunity for what he wants to achieve going a different direction. So I want to hear from Dave, like, why don't you say no to a million things? We all do.
Yeah.
Why is this something, Dave, you're saying no to? You're kind of dipping a toe in that water, and that's awesome, but it's not your primary focus.
So I'm doing more video. You see me posting
Yeah,
more stuff on Instagram and Facebook and all that. So I definitely understand the value of media. We're now focused on. I am actually day to day. I think of you guys, and I'm like, man, I don't. How do these guys do? What? How do these guys do 1 or 2 or 3 posts a day? And some days I'm trying to get 2 out, and some days I don't or whatever. So I need to outsource that. I'm working on that. But the real crux of this is what we haven't really talked about, which is, I don't believe or really care about the long term of any of these dollars coming from these platforms. This is where I believe
Good.
I want to be paid by either the client, patient, customer, or things that Tony and Jimmy have mentioned before, which is being paid from brands or sponsorships. I
Yes.
do not trust YouTube, Google, Facebook,
Good.
Instagram, TikTok. But when Tony posts stuff about, Amazon affiliate, whatever, and he used to make more, I think, in previous years, and now they're chopping it because they control the flow of your money. So forget, in my belief, forget any of this monetization of anything on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or anything. Work on the brand sponsorships that you can contact, you can sell. Jimmy, you're trying to get into different associations with your offering.
Yeah.
And I think is I'd be curious to see, flip it back on Tony, because Tony's getting free products and he's getting companies to reach out to him and all that, and that's amazing. And I think that in the bigger companies that you can sell to directly, and then that there's some type of clause or an agreement where they cannot rip the carpet out from underneath you, that the way that Google and YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok will.
Yes. So let me rephrase. I think any money you get, like Tony's getting $1,000 a month from Facebook, that's your utility payment. Like that's couch cushion. That's couch cushion money. Not to say $1,000 extra a month is not a lot. That's money that comes, because in a year or two, that might be the same number of followers, $250, because now there's more people. I'm saying exactly what you're saying, which is the ATIs of the world have 7,000 followers on Instagram. They should have 250,000. They don't. Why? And I'm saying this out of love. I'm not picking on ATI. It's large organizations. There's so many people that have to approve stuff. So I'm saying to individuals, like for Dave, it makes most sense to be a content creation company first. I'm not saying take the copay now, but if you focused on this, you'd need to outsource this, because Dave should not be editing a video. Dave should just be bang.
I literally don't know how to edit videos. So
you should be Gary Vee and I'd be curious. I'd be curious if a buddy like my friend Drew followed Dave around with no prompts. You get someone who knows what to do, like Drew or another videographer, and just say, follow me around. No camera for the first day or whatever. And then once they're like, I got the rhythm. Like, you don't need to explain to like a really good drummer what's about to happen. You're just like, start playing your guitar. I'll figure it out. That's what a good videographer, in my opinion, can do. After day 2 or 3, I got your 2 or 3 different stories, the formats that we're just going to tell over. And when that gets you so much, the idea is so much attention translates, this much attention translates to this many phone calls, to this many booked things, but then this grows, this grows, this grows. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that for you, you can monetize the attention to booked appointments. And then I'm saying, do exactly what you're saying, which is reach out to whatever brands you want. And you're like, I could be carrying around your massage gun or whatever tool I use. I tried to leverage it last week. Did you see I only did it once, and I did a half-assed job because I was sort of pissed. I played men's beer league hockey because I still think I'm 20-something years old.
Oh yeah, I saw you tagged. What was the skate company, the equipment company?
Graph. Because when I bought it 4 years ago, they were like, "This is the fancy one, and you should get this." And then I block one shot. I play with a bunch of dudes that are in their 40s, and for the non-hockey experts out there, at no point should your skate be a convertible. It should not. Your toes should never be visible during a hockey game. So I reached out to Graph silently, and I was like, what's the warranty? These things are 3.5, 4 years old. Like, that shouldn't happen. Nothing. So then I went online. I was like, hey, Bauer Hockey, if I jump ship and come your way, my toes stay in the skate, right? But you see how that, like, now all of a sudden attention is valuable. I feel like someone like Dave, who has little to no overhead in terms of brick and mortar, you being a content machine.
Jimmy, we do have a brick and mortar in Midtown Manhattan.
Oh, I didn't know that. Why did I not know that?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Thank you. All right, at least I'm not paying attention.
At 57 and 6, we are outpatient as well. It's basically like a sublease, but we have an office for the busy professionals who don't want a house visit, a home call, a house call, or a home PT, whatever.
I did not know that. Either I missed it or you never said it. I don't know. But what I'm saying,
more of the content coming out. More of the content coming out from there. I was just there yesterday doing content.
See, that's what I'm saying. So this is my idea. Like, if Mr. Beast decided I'm going to be a PT tomorrow, this is what he would do, and you know he would succeed in some way. Now you have to measure what success looks like. I think the thing that Dave brings up in terms of like, dude, you can't just chase views; you have to chase results. Agreed, 100% agreed. So do it like Jesse from the Savannah Bananas, which is like patience first. We're gonna smush patient first in your face 50 different ways, but make it fun. Make me want to come there. Make your list. Savannah, you can't buy a Savannah Bananas ticket right now. You can't. The waiting list is out the roof because they understand who they overserve. I was just watching a video with him this morning. Dave's a baseball guy. You can't play music as soon as the pitcher starts to pitch. You got, if you're the music guy in the stadium, because it might be distracting. And they're like, Jesse's like, dude, they're professionals. You really think they can't do it while, Cotton Eye Joe is playing? They can do it. Trust me. So they do that all the time because they're like, who is that music for? It's for, so they literally do everything opposite. So it'd be funny to flip everything except patient first.
But see, this is the thing. Now, Jimmy, I shared an ad that I want to get Dave's feedback on because this might be kind of in his world. But while you're pulling that up,
where did you share that?
In the private chat in StreamYard.
Oh, okay.
When I am in the clinic, I don't choose the music that I like, right? I saw that same clip about Banana Ball. I choose the music that is appropriate to the people in the clinic. If I have a bunch of high school kids at 3:30, I'm going to let them choose the music. I don't even know what the music would be. But when I have my geriatrics in the morning, it's 60s and 70s, it's kind of older music. Late 19th century music, but like I've had
19th century,
yeah. Or 1900s music from the late 1900s.
We had cholera,
but
from the 18 and 1900s.
But I've had staff that they're like they pick music that they want regardless of what the patient wants. This was the whole MLB versus Banana Ball. It's like, are we here for us? Or are we here for them? Now I am the business owner. I'm here for the staff. I know my patients aren't going to leave because they don't get to hear their favorite song. Right. So I let my staff pick the music that my staff wants to hear because I'm curating an experience for my staff. Hopefully my staff then delivers a good enough experience to the patient, and that's kind of the trickle down the way I see it. But
I can't
so few therapists really sell what the patient wants. They sell what they want to sell, and they want the patient to want what they're selling. Like it's just all backwards.
Yeah, I can't open that ad. You have to do it. My Facebook is jacked.
Oh, okay. I'll pull it up here. So, Dave, I shared this, and on my personal feed, but let me share my screen.
Dave, hold on a second. So, for you, your two biggest problems are patients and hiring, right? What's the
hiring's not a problem because I don't want to hire.
No. For Dave, is hiring still an issue?
No, actually, I am interviewing an excellent candidate right now, and about 10 minutes ago, they emailed back that they agree to a potential start date of January 12th, which is about 6 weeks from right now.
Wow.
Here we.
But it's always got to be like at least 10% of your vision, right? Because like somebody
always
right. So
the patient demand and the therapist demand. Yeah.
So those are your content types in my mind. Like how do I show, like what's that Ryan Serhan, right? I'm sure he's got, enough people but he's always going, look what I've got next. Look what I've got next. Look what I've got next. He's a movie studio. Look what I've got next. Look what I've got next. I think it's the same thing. Now, all right.
So Dave, here, I think this is the one. I'm going to get it to play. Tell me if you guys can hear the
women
audio.
don't respect and the world doesn't respect.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
Hold on. So you only coach men who make over 150K a year? That's a little arrogant, don't you think?
Okay.
I love it. You know, we talked about this before, I believe, or you shared it last year.
I don't know if it's the same guy. There's lots of guys who do this. You know, I don't even know if this is real or this is AI generated. Like, I don't know if that's a real woman or what. You can't tell anymore.
You can't.
But yeah, the whole idea is, you know, he only takes clients that are making a certain amount per year, 150,000 in this case. He goes on to explain how it's not about arrogance or exclusivity, but it's about you have to show that you can achieve results. I still go back to, like, if I really wanted to, colleges don't take every kid who wants to come into the school. Like, we've got nieces and nephews applying to college right now. They get told no a lot. They have amazing test scores. Pretty much everything is, you have to prove first that you can do it, whether it's a therapist you're hiring, a patient you're going to treat, whatever. You have to prove that you can do it. You have to prove that you have a track record of success. And then we will accept you because we have a certain level of expectation. This is a completely different model than the typical therapist who's begging people who are smoking and drinking and leading a lifestyle that's not conducive to healing, who are coming if it's free, who are coming if someone else is paying the bill, who will cancel that day if they want to go get their hair done, their nails done, or something modestly more important, you know? These are just completely different worlds, diametrically opposing worlds. You're in this world. What do you think of an ad like this? How do you see this as a screening process to make sure you get the right people into your ecosystem?
I love it. I meant to save it and send it to you guys. I was just targeted by some like running coach on Facebook, and the running coach ad said, "Are you a runner making $100,000 a year or more?" Something like that. So literally that is the first split second beginning of every ad from this guy. It's different ads. And then it's, of course, then it goes to videos of his clients in terms of results. And I help in one training block, this guy went from, you know, a 7-minute pace to a 6-minute pace or whatever. It makes sense. I could see how some people would not like it. There's certain PTs that we won't mention by name. We won't mention by name. There's even PTs here in New York City that would not like this.
But they hope that, like, it's a weed out. Like, if you're turned off by this, you're going to hate me. I don't want to pay for a lead from you. I don't want to spend 20 minutes until you find out that this is who Dave is and you don't like me. Good. You could do the opposite of this, right? So that video you just played is the ultimate weed out. If you don't have 150K and you aren't trying to be a badass in the next 90 days, I don't want to talk to you. I shared these videos in our group chat with these, and now it's all I see, right, for the next couple of weeks. There's this guy, and his account's like Boss Victor or Victor the Boss. And he drives around a pickup truck and he talks to people who are living on the street. And he's like, "Hey, can I give you some food?" And he gives them some food. And he's like, "Hey, listen, if you ever want to get off the street, here's my card. You make the decision." And he flies people from like Boston or whatever he is, or Baltimore to, he's like, "You have to leave the state if you want to get clean." He's like, "I'm 15 years sober. I was in jail." And this is a mini documentary in a reel in 60 seconds. And then he flies people to recovery, and then smash cut to the same person you just saw with 20 extra pounds on them. And it's like, "Oh, now you're working and now you're doing this." You know that the views on his Facebook accounts are paying for like the chicken sandwiches and the flights. And then he goes, "Who wants to fund the next transformation?" And people are like, "Hell yeah, dude." And that's how he funds it. So that's what I'm saying. By all means, don't expect Facebook or YouTube to ever pay your bills. They won't. That's couch cushion money. What Vic the Boss is able to do is, I got this attention. What do I do with it? He doesn't need a brand. He goes to people and goes, "Who wants to be part of this transformation?" This is Sarah McLachlan, Arms of an Angel for ASPCA. Do you ever notice their commercials are like 2.5 minutes long? That's on purpose, because that's how long the song is.
So depressing, those commercials. They're horrible. I changed the channel. They're horrible.
Because
because effective.
I don't know what part of the brain is sadness. They put a thumb on it and they're like, "Oh, yes. Do you want it to stop? Do you want it to stop? Go to the website and donate right now."
No, it's just $9 a month. It's a cup of coffee.
Do you remember Save Harold? I think that's what it was. One of the look up. I'll Google that in a second. I think it was Save Harold. It was one of the first websites. This was 1998. It was a website. There were no social platforms. This guy just put up a website that said, like, unless this website gets $10,000, this is Harold the bunny dies. Except you had to share it. You're like, this isn't real. This isn't real. He's not going to kill. He's like, I'm going to kill the bunny and eat it unless I get $10,000. And then we get more clicks, and then it would rank higher in Google. And then people would be like, I don't know if it's real or not, but you know what? Just to be safe, I'm going to give $1. I'm just going to give one. I'm going to give $1 just to make sure the bunny doesn't die. That's the thing. Do that, but do it ethically. Take all the scammer things people do, figure out their tricks, figure out how to use it for good. These are weapons, people, and we are outmanned and outgunned. Time to arm up.
So real quick, going back to something David said, and I don't know if this will come up here. You're right, Dave. It's not going to be here forever. I don't expect like YouTube and Facebook, the money tree will die. But on the screen, if you're not watching, but you're listening, this is a screenshot that I took out of one of the, I didn't mean to kick Dave off.
No, I think Dave I think his internet.
Okay. Well, this was a screenshot I took from a TikTok affiliate group. This person, she says, what a blessing November was. Cheers to December. This person made $45,000. I went to this is a man. I've got another one from a woman. I went to his TikTok page, his channel. He's got 46,000 subscribers, something like that. Not a huge channel. He does have multiple million-plus view videos, but this guy made $45,000 in 1 month for little product review, 60 seconds or less videos. Here is another. This is the woman. She said, you know, anything is possible. I was just a girl, west side of Detroit, turned on a camera, started making content. She, her husband, and her kids, they kind of make videos. They're cute. They're nice. They're nothing that somebody else watching this couldn't make. $57,000 in 1 month, the month of November. She has like 45,000 followers, not a ton. It just blows my mind. So this will stop. This will end. There's no doubt in my mind. Jimmy, you can take that down. I don't know how to get it off.
Okay.
There's no doubt in my mind that this is a short term, just like Bitcoin and other things. You take advantage of it when it's here. But the idea is that I want to jump on that train while it's available. There goes Dave again. And I'm going to put that money in the bank, you know, and that's where like the product companies and the other stuff.
Yeah, what you do with that money is you, in my opinion, you double down on okay, that's a loan from my followers. This is what Mr. Beast does. His first video that really hit, I'm sure we could map out like a timeline. His first video hit and he made $1 million, but he probably spent a lot of money to get it. But then he doubled down and he took that $1 million. Is like, how do we triple this? How do we triple that? How do we triple that? I got my first product video request, Tony. Well,
yeah,
first
tell me more.
ChatGPT, and I was like, how do I improve the visibility of my YouTube channel? I got like almost 2,000 subscribers. Interview shows on YouTube aren't the greatest, most eye-catching content, right? But live streams, that's what we do a little bit differently, right? Because then we also turn it into podcast episodes for each of our channels, and then we talk about it. And we also talk about brands like Copay Crunchers, the cereal for PTs who want less administrative work and more sugar. Every box comes with a surprise denied claim inside. Tastes like these are our sponsors for our show. So my point is, I got my first product request to do a video from an overseas brand, and essentially they're those compression leg boots. And they're just like, we've found your channel. And again, I don't correlation or causation. They emailed me 20 minutes after I went through my YouTube channel with ChatGPT. And it was like, put these keywords here, change your description, change this, stop doing that, do this. 20. So I don't know. 20 minutes.
You did the video?
What's that?
You did the video?
Not yet. No, I went back to them. They said, what is your rate for this thing? And I said, and I just ChatGPT'd. I said, here's the email. What is a fair rate for my size channel? I said, this is the thing. So, and I'll share it if it goes, I'll share it whether it goes through or not, but I want to see how it plays out.
Interesting, Dave. Jimmy said, what is a fair rate? Why do we need to worry about what is fair? This isn't your job. This isn't your career. This is what is the rate that makes it worth my time to do?
Well,
and then what I always have to catch myself for, I catch myself and I stop myself is don't self-justify why you should do
You're
this.
right.
Don't tell yourself, oh, I'm going to do it for free
Right.
because I'm going to learn and it's a learning experience and I want to do it and I don't have a big audience. You justify yourself out of the money and then you get not you, but you in general get mad that you're not making enough and you can't pay the bills. It's because we do it to ourselves. It's not what is a fair price. It's what is the most I can possibly charge that still produces value for the company, but that they are willing to pay. And if they say yes, that means I didn't ask for enough.
Jamie Brindle is worth following. He's just a super laid back, like definitely the opposite of that guy who's looking for $150,000. Like all he does is he's a freelancer. I don't even know what he freelances at. Like I've been watching this guy's videos for 2 years, but he coaches freelancers and he'll say, price the job so you could sub it out and live on the difference. So like, if I wanted to make this video, I should have said, yes, I'm going to price it. So I'm going to pass it off to Tony or Dave, give them enough, whatever Tony says, and whatever's left over, I can live on the margin. And I remember
whatever's fair for them.
Right. Yes. This reminds me of a great Adam Carolla quote. Whenever people they'd work for him and he'd be like, well, I did my best. And he's like, I don't need you to do your best. I need you to do my best. I need you to envision how well I could do it. And I need you to rise to that. And I think you're right, Tony. I think I would give the same advice, but then of course I don't take that advice because then I get all in my emotions and I go, I'll take $3.25, whatever you think is worth it. But I didn't say $3.25.
So I shared an email exchange in the Passions to Profit group where I knew they were going to say no, but a company reached out to me. They had a cold therapy, recirculating machine. It had the cooler, it had the pump, and it's for post-op stuff. And they were like, hey, we want a 30 to 60 second video explaining the device and a second 30 to 60 second video showing the device or using the device. I said, okay, it's $500. I'll do both videos. I'll do a 7-day turnaround, send me the product. I gave them all the specifications, told them they could use it on their Amazon, but they can't use it on other things without additional fees. I knew they were going to say no, but I did this because I wanted to show the group how this goes back and forth. So they replied, they said no. They said our budget is $200 for the two videos combined. That's $100 a video. And I said, no. I said, my price is $500 for the two. That's only $250 a video. I knew it would take me an hour to do the video. I've done videos like this before. And my intent was not to get the job. I didn't need the job. I didn't want the job. My intent was to get other people the job. So what I did was I said, thank you very much. ChatGPT wrote the reply email. I can't do it for that rate, whatever. Here's a list of, and I think I sent like 5 people in my group, their email addresses. I said, these are all therapists. They're all creators. They are willing to do the job for the $200. If you want, connect with them directly.
Yep.
And, it's just, it was interesting, but probably like Dave, you have a level of power and authority to say no. And the easiest time to do that is when you don't need to say yes. When you're not desperate, when you're not starving, when you're not trying to make the rent payment, it's very easy to say no. And that was one of those cases where I'm like, I don't care. I don't need it. There are other products I would have said yes to at the same $200 rate because I really wanted those products or I wanted the relationship or whatever. In this case, there was not much for me to say yes to. So it was easy to say no unless you pay me the money.
Yep. It's what plumbers and electricians and roofers will do. They'll give you, I'm trying to keep it family friendly, but they'll give you an FU price. And if you say yes, they'll go, great, I'll drop the other 3 gigs I was doing for a 10% margin. I'll take this one. But you also said something else, Tony, which I didn't say in my email reply. You said something very, very valuable, which is I'll turn it around in 7 days. You said I can do it on that. I can do it good, fast, or cheap. I'm not cheap. I am good, and I'm going to turn around. So you gave them ding, ding, ding. Do you need it in 7 days?
You got it. You could be 2 of those 3.
But he said you already came to me, so you knew the quality of my channel.
Right.
I ain't going to be cheap, right? But I can be fast. Do you want it even faster? Great. It's $150. That's that whole guy, Jamie Brindle. He has these great conversations. He does like the Dr. Glaucom Flecken sort of thing. But this guy, Jamie Brindle, for freelancers is just talking to himself. He's always talking to like new freelancer and pro freelancer. And his videos are all circular. So they begin with a question and end with the answer. And then you watch the video 3 times before you realize you just watched it 3 cycles. But it's always like, they say they want another revision. Should I just give it to him? And he goes like, he'll give like great examples of like, absolutely respond. I can absolutely do that. How would you like me to invoice you, now or at the end of the revision? Instead of saying, well, here's how much it costs. He just goes, how would you like me to like super subtle, but he's like upfront. And he's like, you're in control. And as soon as you recognize that, like, I need you to understand that you're in control. And as soon as you recognize that, stuff gets really powerful.
So this is where we bring it into patient care. Okay. Somebody calls today. They're like, hey, I've got a referral for physical therapy. My shoulder's been killing me. My neck hurts. My back hurts, whatever. Okay, well, I've got a couple openings later today. The price is $275. Or I can schedule you early next week. The price is $175. Which would you prefer? You know, and like we can bring some of that into this to say, look, you want it faster, it's more expensive. You want it today, you want a premium therapist, you want to hire Dave and not Dave's employee.
Yes.
This is what it's going to cost. These are the price differences. And just like I gave that company options, I didn't say no. I just said, look, you got this option or you got that option. You know, you can do it for more, you can do it for less. Now, there is a formula, so I don't know if I can rattle it off, but I'll give it a shot. When a product company reaches out and I want to do a job, I've got a bike sitting at the clinic that got delivered yesterday. Great. My typical thing is I can get the finished video to you within 7 days of the delivery arrival. Good. I can get you, and I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I want to say it's like either a 30 to 60 second video or a 3 to 5 minute video. I give them the specifications. It's an unboxing and assembly video. Separately, it's a use video. I kind of hit all of the boxes. I'm going to share it on these 4 platforms. These are the analytics for those 4 platforms. This is what those platforms already have to offer, like 4 million views a month, you know, 70,000, 80,000 subscribers, whatever. All of that is formatted. All of that is templated so that when I get a request that comes in that I want to say yes to, it goes out. I tell them that this is the fee. Typically, it's around $500. You're not allowed to use the video for your own purposes. You don't have access or licensing. If you want to do that, it's an additional fee. And if you want to talk about, a lot of times they want to run ads against the video so that they can get the reach out there. That's an additional fee.
Licensing, yeah.
So it's all in ChatGPT. All of the check boxes are ready to go so that when I send that reply, there really is no other question. And even to the point where this is my PayPal address. This is how you can send me the money. This is the shipping address. It's a business location. There's no loading dock. So when the shipment arrives, it has to be ground delivery.
Think about that. Like Tony's now in territory where he needs loading docks.
Logistics.
To
you got your logistics team.
Logistics team. Because, but wait, what was the, do you remember what even the first products that you did videos were?
Oh, jeez.
Like what were they? Smaller, I'm guessing. Like you've gotten larger in price and larger in, you're getting bikes, bro. When
yeah.
Hot tub delivered, my man. Like when are we doing swim spas? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tony did
out back.
Tony did the tens unit videos like years ago.
Yeah.
Regular tens units.
Yeah, it was probably ice packs and tens units. You know, it was just again the stuff you have that you're using every day.
you're the paperclip guy. Remember
Right.
the video where it was the guy was like, I have a paperclip, and I traded the paperclip for I don't know, something, and he bought a car or something. I don't know, I'm hacking the story to pieces,
Yeah.
but like, it's a domino. It's like I have a small domino. I can't knock the big domino down, but I can knock a slightly larger domino down. And if I only focus on this, and the story was to show that he could barter and trade for things, and like some of the trades, the value of the thing he was getting was high, but the thing he had, that person needed now.
Yeah.
You are solving, dude. Snow plowing is a great gig. Not so much in July, right? But like, do you got to go to work? Yeah. Do you need your business open? I'm the guy who's here. I'm the guy who's good. In my local Facebook group right now, it's blowing up. Who's a reliable snowplow? Because the guy I paid last year, because the guy said, you don't pay me per snowplow. You pay me to be your guy for the season. Of course, some of them are going to be shady. And this guy was just there. So now everybody's asking, who are the reliable snowplow people that you write to patient care? You'd be like, do you need to get in? Yes. Do you need to get in tomorrow? Disney FastPass option. It costs this because I got to boot somebody out. Or you know what? I have to tell you why it costs that much. Costs that much, could I say so? If you don't want it, Google, there's 6 other places.
And going back to Dave's bridge visit idea, like
Brilliant.
It's not all or none, you know? So yesterday, over the last couple of days, 2 nephews, opposite sides of the country, one in DC, one in California, Oakland. They both had injuries. One was an ankle sprain playing football. The other was a meniscus tear.
Right.
Their respective parents message my wife and I, we're both PTs, include an orthopedic surgeon that's also in the family. Hey, this is what's going on. This is what the MRI report said. What do you guys think? The ankle sprain, it was an acute ankle sprain. He's like, hey, I grew up doing rice. Do we not do rice anymore? Somebody talked about peace and love. What should I do with, my son, my nephew? This is the kind of thing where both of those kids are going to do PT. Both of those kids are going to get in-person treatment. But that night at 10 a.m., they needed an unbiased PT who could give them an honest opinion of what they should do right now. Now, because they're family, they're not getting charged, but people would absolutely pay for that. So if somebody's looking for, how do I make money today? How do I put money in my bank account right now? Yep. This is the kind of thing that you put it on social media. Social media will get the distribution. I shared 2 posts less than an hour ago, and both of them have over 1,000 views. And it's just as simple as, hey, if you need a quick opinion from a doctor of physical therapy, here's my number. Here are the topics that I can help you with. Did your kid just sprain an ankle? We've got 4 inches of snow. Did you just strain your back shoveling your driveway? If you need an answer to your question, here's the link. Pay at the time, process your credit card, whatever, and I'll help you.
I got a crazy idea. Let's take Tony's methodology there. And what should a 15-second live read on this morning show live stream cost? Because it's not just the live stream, because then Jimmy takes the audio and I share it on PT Pintcast, and Dave takes his video and he shares it on his channel. And this gets streamed to how many social channels, and there's clips. And right now, this was not on purpose, but I'm wearing my Bros Resolve Physical Therapy, t-shirt, conveniently with 2 locations, one in Montgomery, New York, and one in Florida, New York, that just opened. If you want hands-on orthopedic physical therapy, see John and his team at Resolve Physical Therapy. So you can see one live stream for 1 hour. You're like, well, what am I getting? I'm like, you could be as popular as the CPT code memory game. It's like regular memory, except every time you flip a card, Medicare changes the rules. Match 2 97110s and you win. Match a 97140 and a 97530, denied for insufficient documentation. Fun for the whole clinic. This doesn't make any sense until we make funny commercials, fake ones, and they spread enough to go, I'll watch that. Enough people watch that. And then the companies of the world. And next thing you know, we got HyperIce boots and we got the HyperIce Nikes. I want the HyperIce Nikes. There we go.
We need a CPT code vending machine.
CPT code vending machine.
That was also hilarious. That was, oh my God, amazing.
Parting shot. So, all right. So this is our prompt for next show. What is not fair? What is an uncomfortable price for sponsoring one live stream from us, because we can show you it goes to the audience that's live. And then we can say, do you want to use the clips? That's a licensing fee. Do you want us to live sell your product? I'll sit here with a boots on, the compress. What do you want me to wear? I'll wear it as long as it is completely evidence-based, like evidence-based candles. The only aromatherapy candles clinically proven to reduce your urge to argue in PT Facebook groups. Scents include lumbar lordosis lavender, deadlifts and donuts, and the crowd favorite DFD, dead for debate. Light responsibly. But like, what would that be worth if these were all real products? Something. The answer is not zero. It's not $1 million, not yet. The answer is somewhere in the middle. So maybe we do that. Because we talked about this. We should probably make the next episode, the answer to this prompt on Thursday. Like what should that cost? Because then people listening can apply it to their own channels. Like Michael Hyland, right? He's the Parkinson's guy with the YouTube channel. Michael is doing this to reach patients and to help people. I don't know him, but everything I read from his stuff tells me he's doing it right. But why couldn't Michael sell if you had something that helped patients living with Parkinson's disease? Why wouldn't Michael be like, come on the show, I have vetted it. You have the Michael Parkinson's disease PT seal of approval, expose it to his audience and get paid for that. So we can do that, but let's real experiment it. And then, I wanted to talk about live selling. Like we're talking about that with the TikTok channels. That's a thing. Tony and I have talked about it. We do the same thing you do, talking to the audience. We look at it, like what's live selling? And we're like, look at this thing. Look, I don't know. Oh, it turns on. How do we use this? Well, I can put it on my head or I could stick it to a thing. And then you figure out how to actually use it. It makes me think of that quote from Swingers. It's like, you don't know how to kill this bunny? You're this bear with these big claws. You don't know how to kill the bunny? You got to figure out how the claws work first.
Sounds good. Are we doing parting shots? Dave, you want to go?
Well, I was going to say real quick that I think Tony would be the best right now to price some of these fake commercials or real commercials. That's not in my wheelhouse. But I missed last show. I missed last week. I missed the pre-Thanksgiving. So I did this last year. So really briefly, I'm grateful to both of you guys. I love doing this. This is fun. And I still sometimes go back and listen to some of our episodes. I literally, I might do 20 or 30 minutes. Sometimes I watch or listen to the whole thing. And I believe, because we've been doing content and video and audio and all that for years, all three of us in different ways and now together. I know that this is, valuable and helpful and fun for the audience because I kind of re-listen and watch posted, shared content after the fact, after we do live. So I'm grateful for both of you guys. And I just hope that all of you, both of you guys, your families and everyone else had a great, happy Thanksgiving because I was not on the Tuesday show last week before Thanksgiving.
I love it. That was a beautiful message. I echo that message. And, I said last week, it's so easy to just be like, it's not enough. There's not enough people. There's not enough listeners. I'm still blown away when I get a message from somebody and they're like, yeah, I saw the PT Breakfast Club and I listened to it and you said this thing. And it's shocking to me. So I appreciate you guys. You guys are showing up. You're sacrificing. You're putting other things on the back burner to be here, just like I am. And the people watching are doing the same. So, we're going on like 2, maybe 3 years now. It's crazy how long we've been able to keep this going. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody who's watching.
So next week, I think we should talk about how much an
beat that, Jimmy. Beat those parting shots.
Well, I will. I will beat those parting shots after a word from the Hip Flexor Hotline. Today's episode brought to you by the Hip Flexor Hotline, the nation's first 24/7 emergency line for people who swear it's tight but haven't stretched since the Obama administration. Call now and talk to a certified physical therapist who will say, it's your core, buddy. HipFlexorHotline.com and 1-800-HIP-FLEXOR. So I think we should price, let's do that, like a real live experiment. What's this worth? And then let's talk about live selling because I think PTs are primed for this. You have authority, you have name recognition, you have a degree. This is when I want you to, for a split second, be like, I'm a doctor of physical therapy. That's I want you to say that as the third line, right? Grateful for you guys, excited for all the things I learned. It is wild when we do hear people I'm dumbfounded that people watch and listen to this. But even if they didn't, I still think we'd get value. Even if we had no listeners or viewers, even us repurposing this content can't be done. It's a mental exercise. So kudos to you guys. We should record eventually, I've said this several times, an outro that we could just reuse that says all the follow Dave at the Dave Kittle Show on YouTube and Concierge Pain Relief and Tony Maritato. And we should record that because I forget it every time. We'll do that next time. We'll see you guys on Thursday.